All right, is this the beginning of Terminator, where Skynet is out to kill us all? Well, I certainly hope not, and I have some comments and some real deep insights about artificial intelligence and how you can avoid losing your job to AI. That is the topic of today's short talk. Welcome to Greater Wealth Through Mastery. This is John S. Rhodes of the Rhodes Brothers, and we are going to dive right into this very short video. Well, this is how you will not avoid losing your job. In fact, these things are likely to increase the chances of you losing your job. So pay close attention. These are the things that are like the canaries in the coal mine. These are the early warning flares. And the more that you see of these things, the greater the likelihood that your job and perhaps your business or the business you're working in or even your industry is at risk. So please pay very close attention. But I do promise there is light at the end of the tunnel, and no, it's not a train coming your way. So stick with me until the end. Now, if you hear about AI creating new jobs in industries, you got another thing coming. This is what's going on. AI is going to continue to wipe out job after job after job. Now, is it going to wipe out jobs like nursing? Is it going to wipe out jobs where certain hands-on services are required, perhaps chiropractors, nurses? And again, I'm kind of sticking in the healthcare field. But what about a roofer? What about someone who is going to take care of your driveway? What about someone who shovels snow? I could go on, right? So a lot of blue-collar jobs, those that are very hands-on in the real world, they're at less risk. And that's somewhat ironic, right? Because those folks that are middle management, those folks that are more white collar, well, they're in trouble. Now, how about developers and designers? Well, those jobs are at greater risk as well as a whole. So if you hear about AI creating new jobs, that is true, but what are those jobs and where are they coming from? Are they from old businesses? Are they from the business that you're in right now? Probably not. And so this is the trick. This is the lesson regarding new jobs being created. It's likely that you will have to create that new job, or you will have to jump from one job to another job that was created somewhere else, not within your existing company or your existing business. Again, when it comes to AI creating jobs, AI is not looking to create jobs. AI is looking for efficiencies and productivity and cost savings. So therefore, it puts your job at risk. So the new jobs will truly be new jobs. So creation of new jobs is creativity. It is human creativity that enables these jobs to be created. So be on the lookout for that. Another thing is if you hear about the implementation of AI safety measures, well, we all want AI to be safe. We don't want deep fakes. We don't want AI taking over. But the more that you hear about AI safety measures, the more likely you're going to be hearing about the centralization of power. I mean, it's like, no, right? It just makes you want to smack yourself, right? The idea here is that if the AI safety measures are brought to you by the AI companies, by the politicians, by huge centralized organizations in general, you got another thing coming. If you think they've got your best interest in mind, it's just not going to be happening. So that is a risk to you. It's a risk to your job. They're likely to sort of water down whatever it is that is happening with AI that gives you an advantage, that helps you with your job. And it's going to make you weaker in your job and more likely that someone else in some other company is going to use AI to create new jobs, build new companies. And you'll be blinded to that because you'll be thinking about the safety and security of the company you're in that's safely using AI. And that is exactly the opposite of what you need to be thinking about. You need to be thinking about, what don't I know? Not about the safety measures. We obviously want more safety in AI, and we don't want deep fakes, and we don't want anyone, using AI for, really horrible reasons. But if it's thrust upon you, if these safety measures are thrust upon you, that means that someone else is using AI in ways that give them an advantage, and they have found a way to work around the guardrails. Perhaps the guardrails are too narrow, perhaps the guardrails are too strict. You need to be aware of that, or you could lose your job simply because AI can, and the regulations and related, can be pushing you into a very narrow channel and limiting your opportunities. A third thing is that ethical AI leadership. That might end up being a lot like diversity, inclusion. It might be so big and so heavy and so onerous to the company, to you as an individual. It might be done in the wrong way. Hey, I'm all for equality and fairness and so forth, just as much as anyone else, but it should be merit-based. And what you find is that with ethical AI leadership, cramming ethical utilization of AI down your throat in the wrong way, if it's too hot and too heavy, you will be limiting yourself in your thinking, and it will put your job at risk. It will put you and your skills and what you're trying to learn absolutely at risk. So be aware of what is being thrust upon you. And if the leaders really don't understand AI and they are just yes men and yes women, if it's just regulations, who does that really benefit? Certainly not you. And it puts your job and your business at risk if you happen to run a small business yourself. How about the absolute worst? Regulation of AI. I say it's the worst is because it's likely that the regulation won't be coming from the business. It'll really be coming from the government. And if the AI is regulating, or if the AI is regulated by the government, again, who does that benefit the most? It benefits the government over the individual. It benefits the company more than it benefits you as well. If you watch the regulations, you will learn what the government is thinking. We've seen that with, for example, Bitcoin. It can be done well, kind of like Bitcoin, or it can be done very, very poorly. So be aware of government regulation because, again, it will blind you to the real changes happening with technology and with AI. And if you get suckered in by what the government is saying, this is exactly the right thing to be doing in light of AI, it's likely you will not be able to use AI in the most effective ways, the highest productivity, the best cost savings, the most creative, the most generative possible ways. Still, the ethics and the regulation and the company regulations overall, these things are to be really paid attention to, or you could lose your job. So those are 4 things that are all very, very concerning to me. Number 5, though, however, is the way out of all of this. What you want to be thinking about with AI is how to use AI collaboratively. Use your best human knowledge, your best human skills, your best human stories, use your best human experience, and then exploit that, utilize that, embrace all of that with the help of AI. Use AI to improve your creativity, use AI to improve your productivity, use AI to expand your very best skill sets, augment and leverage, enhance. These are big words, but the idea is that you have a certain set of unique abilities, and there aren't many. None of us have, an infinite number of unique abilities. So what you can do is identify your unique abilities and then utilize AI to do things like create and launch new products, to start your own business, to generate amazing software that works with you, works with other people, and embraces AI in a very narrow niche. See, I've talked about little sub markets before, And you could take over a market ethically and with AI and using the best parts of your own experience, knowledge, and your stories and so forth. Customers will love this. You can provide tremendous value in very little time with AI. So this is how to avoid losing your job to AI. Create the business, create the job. Instead of cowering in fear, flip it on its head and turn AI into a secret that provides tremendous power. Turn it into something that creates for other people and you're behind it, not in front of it, right? So the AI doesn't control you, you control the AI. And even better, you work collaboratively with AI. At this point, I also want to say you can use AI to create a mastermind. On this channel, the Rhodes Brothers have actually talked about using AI to create your very own mastermind. So you'll find it on the channel. I strongly encourage you to watch that video. And speaking of the next video, you can see it there on the screen. Be sure, because it will provide you with further insight on your life and your business, possibly providing you with the biggest breakthrough that you've ever imagined. And also in the description below, we do have free resources available to you all about artificial intelligence and how you can get the most out of AI so that you don't lose your job, so that you can start your very own business with the help of AI. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Also, like this video, share it with someone who might need to hear its message. It's people like you, quality folks who share the messages that really make the channel grow. And speaking of that, please subscribe before you head off to the next video that you'll see right there on the screen. Again, this is John S. Rhodes of the Rhodes Brothers signing off. Greater wealth through mastery, indeed.